I've spent more than 20 years in technology, and I've seen a number of projects that failed and a number of projects that succeeded. And what I wanted to talk about today was design. I wanted to talk about design because fundamentally that is a critical element of projects that succeed. And my take on design is going to be slightly different. I'm not talking about user experience or design as interaction design or any of that stuff. I want to talk about design as a fundamental way of solving problems and how you can leverage it. So what I've found is that most of the time, large, grand projects, massive budgets don't work so well. There's a lot of waste, a lot of redos and things. It's true in a lot of places, whether you are looking at something from the perspective of large public sector projects, or you look at large organizations. With all the best of intentions and everything, there's a lot of money that gets thrown, a lot of vendor software that gets bought, a lot of consultants that get flown in, and a number of those projects don't succeed. The fundamental idea of design that I think we miss is to start small and grow significantly with the direction of success. Nowhere else is this as easy as it is with software, because you can buy a ton of licenses of any SaaS vendor just like that. So the challenge for most organizations is to apply a very design thinking perspective, which is to really understand your users' requirements, which is to really understand what is broken, or which is to really understand what is a marginal innovation versus a significantly different kind of innovation, which will disrupt and transform your organization, and then start really small. That is the key design principle that I have always tried to put in every product that we make. We're right now doing a lot of work in the AI space, and I saw the announcements that were made recently around AI and GPT this and GPT that. And my challenge with all of that tends to be, how are you going to succeed if you just went out and bought 50,000 licenses of something? Because doing that changes your focus. It takes away the design from really solving the problem for your customers, for your end users, for your clients, for your partners, for your employees. And it moves the focus to, how do I deploy 50,000 licenses of something? So really, from a design perspective, you want to take a product with like really small set of licenses, deploy it, basically sail, and then scale. So take your little paperboard, sail it. When you think of artificial intelligence, find those use cases that bring high business value, have very low nuance from your industry perspective, and deploy them. Deploy them for a handful of users for very specific business processes, see if it works, and then ratchet it up, and then scale it out. And everybody I speak to for the design perspective, particularly in the AI field, I find that a vast majority of people are not thinking this way. It's almost like you're a kid in a candy shop. Everybody who's thinking about AI is thinking, oh, how can I do this bizarro, magical Harry Potter stuff with it? Whereas the real value is just to shave away inefficiencies by 10, 15, 20, 30, 40%. That's it. We don't need to reinvent the entire world or transform our organization completely. We just need to cut out the grunt work, to kill it. And we can do that as a design thinking. The emphasis needs to be, 1, on identification of the problem, 2, on reframing the problem. Is it really the problem? Is it really a problem that my BDRs are not making 50 calls a day? Or is the problem different from that? Is the problem that the inherent amount of grunt work in it does not really let them contribute their best effort, right? When you reframe a problem, when you think about the underlying challenges, and then you apply a really small solution, then you can validate that there is indeed a problem that is getting solved, and then you can scale it up. And when I talk about design thinking and acting really small, GPTfy is an example of that. So that's a product we built, which basically is a Salesforce native app, and it can integrate with any AI of your choice. So you could go with Cohere or Anthropic's Cloud or OpenAI or Google Bard or whatever else is available as an API. And what GPTfy does is it sits right inside your Salesforce. It has the context of everything. It can pull appropriate information, anonymize it. There is a security layer, and then send it out to AI and get your responses back. And when I say that the whole idea of design is to start small, we've designed this product so you can really be up and running in an hour, right? Like a lot of these prompts are prepackaged in it. A lot of this is done very, very declaratively, everything from configuring security layer to the kind of prompts you want to enable, to the kind of users you want to enable for. You can do it specifically for a handful of users across geographies, across product lines, across profiles. So you can do it by user, by profile, by object, by record type. And the whole intention of all of this is to really reduce the amount of stuff that you have to do to validate the value for your organization. And fundamentally, whether you are building your own products with AI, whether you're buying Salesforce's or GPTfy's or somebody else's, the one thing that would really help your organization and your customers is to think small, is to think with a very design thinking mindset. Don't go in trying to go, yes, let's write Apex with AI and let's write marketing emails across the board with AI and let's do this for sales and that for service. Because no matter how much progress we think we are making, our track record as a species when it comes to technology and particularly SaaS has not been very impressive. In the last 20, 25 years, I've seen so many organizations that have spent lots of money and bought a ton of software. Either it didn't get deployed. If it got deployed, it wasn't done well. If it wasn't done well, even then they still had adoption challenges. So the whole point is to really not repeat the mistakes that we have done with master data management, with data lakes, data warehouses, BI, service-oriented architecture, microservices, mobile applications, social corporate networks, instant messaging. There's a ton of examples of things that we've deployed as organizations and have not succeeded as well as we thought. So if we repeat the same mistake with AI and then just go out and buy a whole lot of AI and try to go deploy it, how are we expecting to get very different results? I would be very curious to hear if there is a counter side to it that I have not seen, because all my experience is with large enterprises, mid-sized organizations, and some small enterprises. And across the board, I've found massively deploying anything has really not given results. What has really worked well is a really tiny team solving a very specific set of problem, really validating it, gradually deploying it out and flushing that portion, and then incrementally adding other things and really validating value at every step of the way. So those are my thoughts on this when it comes to design. Also, if you are interested, I'd love to show you GPTfy and get your point of view on what you think and what we can do better from a design standpoint. These kind of conversations really make my day. So reach out to me. Thank you so much.